السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله تبارك وتعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد فيا عباد الله، يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه العزيز بعد أن أقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: قال فرعون وما رب العالمين قال رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما إن كنتم موقنين قال لمن حوله ألا تستمعون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Last week we had gone over a topic in regards to from the 10 characteristics of what our heart needs to be cleaned from. And one of them is called Salim. إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Whoever comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a pure heart. And we mentioned that Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, he mentions to have a qalb salim huwa alladhi salima min ash-shirki wal-ghilli wal-hiqdi wal-hasadi wal-shuhi wal-kibr. He said your heart needs to be clean from a few things, about 8 to 9 things. And we have already gone over about 4 of them, and we had started last week on the topic of arrogance, of kibr. And in the topic of arrogance and kibr, we were going over the story of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam and the conversation that he had with Musa alayhi salatu wassalam and Fir'aun. And through that conversation, you can understand the characteristics and the traits of Fir'aun, how Musa alayhi salatu wassalam responded to someone that was prideful, and how Fir'aun reacted. So if these traits are found within us of Fir'aun, we need to remove them. And we had started the conversation already between Fir'aun and Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. And I'll quickly summarize it so we can continue inshallah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Musa alayhi salatu wassalam to Fir'aun, he told him, فَقُولَ لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا. Fir'aun claims to be a god. He would say, أَنَا رَبُّكَ, I'm your Lord, I'm your God, worship me. I'm your Lord, I'm your God, worship me. Fir'aun used to say that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending Musa alayhi salatu wasalam to go talk to Fir'aun, a person who claims to be a god. That means anyone that we talk to, Fir'aun is probably worse than anyone we talk to. Fir'aun is probably worse than any human being we will ever talk to, because he claimed to be a god. No one here has the audacity to claim to be a Lord or a God today. But even then, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Musa alayhi salatu wasalam to him. فَقُولًا لَهُ قَوْلًا لَيِّنًا اذْهَبَا إِلَى فِرْعَوْنَ. Go to Fir'aun and talk to him in a calm, soft, gentle manner. Now this is Musa alayhi salatu wasalam being sent to Fir'aun. Now you can only imagine who the Prophet ﷺ loved the believers, talked about the importance of a believer. So when you talk to another believer, how soft, gentle, and kind you have to be. If he's being told to be calm and gentle with someone who claims to be a God, who claims to be who's so prideful and full of arrogance, you can only imagine how we're supposed to talk and treat other Muslims. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Musa alayhi salatu wasalam to Fir'aun. And Musa alayhi salatu wasalam said to Fir'aun that, I came to take Bani Israel. You're causing so much taklif, you're punishing Bani Israel, the children of Israel, you're harassing them, you have enslaved them. Send them with me and let them go, let them be free. So the first trait of Fir'aun was what? That Instead of responding to the question Musa alayhi salatu wasalam asked, he changed the whole topic and he said, do you know who I am? Who are you to tell me? Do you know my position? You grew up in my house, in my palace. How do you have the audacity to bring up to say Bani Israel? Forget about Bani Israel right now. Do you know who I am? This is what arrogant people do. This is what prideful people do. They won't address the question. They're going to bring up a completely different topic that has nothing to do with what was asked. So, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam responded and said, okay, I made a mistake. You did your ihsan, you did what you did, but this is irrelevant to the topic. So then Fir'aun, responded and kept responding. And the second trait that we brought up with Fir'aun was that he brings up irrelevant faults of the other person. Or he accused them of being haters and ungrateful. You're talking to me about Bani Israel? What about you? You know what you did? You did this, you did that. Somebody gets in an argument, instead of talking about the incident that just took place, you're going to bring up something that happened 5-10 years ago. So he's bringing up irrelevant faults. Okay, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam did something wrong, but it has nothing to do with the topic right now. So again, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam responded, okay, I made a mistake. I heard someone, I've acknowledged my mistake, I've learned from my mistake, and I grew up. I'm accepting my mistake. There's no point of discussing my other faults when I'm accepting the fact I've done something wrong. So now Fir'aun can't address that topic no more because Musa alayhi salatu wasalam admitted to doing something wrong. Okay, now you can't beat down a person who's already down. He's already admitted wrong, so there's no point of discussing it. So what does Fir'aun do? He completely changes the topic. He says, okay, وَمَا رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ? What's the Lord of the universes? What does that mean? So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, okay, calmly he responds, رَبُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا إِن كُنتُم. He's the Lord of the heavens and the earth and whatever is between it, if you have yaqeen, if you have certainty. So now, what does Fir'aun do? قَالَ لِمَنْ حَوْلَهُ أَلَا تَسْتَمِعُونَ. Now Fir'aun is not intellectual. He's not intelligent. So he doesn't have an intelligent response. So what does he do? If we have, like I mentioned this last time too, if one person comes and he's talking to the leader of the gang, with a person with a lot of his friends, and he's being humiliated, what does that leader do? He just turns to his friend and he just makes a scene out of it because he doesn't know how to respond to that person. So instead of responding to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, Fir'aun turns to his ministers, قَالَ لِمَنْ حَوْلَهُ. He looks at the people around him, أَلَا تَسْتَمِعُونَ. Do you hear this guy? You hear this guy? He's not رَبُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. So he makes a scene. He makes drama out of a situation. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam just responded again. Okay, fine. قال ربكم وربكم ورب آبائكم الأولين. Okay, he's your Lord and he's the Lord of your forefathers. So then Fir'aun still does not have a response to this. So what he said? إِنَّ رَسُولَكُمْ الَّذِي أُرْسِلَ إِلَيْكُمْ لَمَجْنُونَ. This guy is insane. Can you believe this nonsense he's saying? So now instead of addressing the topic, he's throwing insults at him. It's questioning this person's intelligence, questioning Musa alayhi salatu wasalam's intelligence. He's not addressing the topic. He's throwing insults. Remember, if we have these traits within us, we're trying to remove them. So then Musa alayhi salatu wasalam responded again, قال, okay, fine. رَبُّ الْمَشْرِقِ وَالْمَغْرِبِ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Okay, he's the Lord of the east and the west, and whatever is between it. If you have any aqal. So, wisely, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam respectfully responds. What does Fir'aun say? He's majnoon, he's insane. So what does Musa alayhi salatu wasalam say? Okay, Allah is the Lord of the east and the west and whatever is between it. If you have any intellect, you just think for a second. You're calling me insane. You're calling me somebody that's not knowledgeable. If you were to just think for a second, there's a Lord of the east and the west, whatever is between it. Just think for a second. Na akal istemal karo. In kuntum taqilun, think for a second. Now Fir'aun doesn't have any intellectual responses. So now what does he do? He does the only thing he knows how to do. قَالَ لَئِنَ اتَّخَذْتَ إِلَهًا غَيْرِي لَجَعَلَنَّكَ مِنَ الْمُسْجُونِينَ. If you, O Musa, if you take another God besides me, if you worship another deity, another person besides me, another being besides me, then I'm going to imprison you. So what does an arrogant person do when he can't intellectually respond? He brings in physical violence. You want to fight? Let's do this. Let's fight. Okay. It has nothing to do with the topic. The topic is let Bani Israel go. Why are you bringing up that? What are you doing? But an arrogant person, a prideful person, does not want to address the topic itself. And we were here on this. So this was 6 traits that we have mentioned of Fir'aun, where he turned a calm conversation into a physical and a violent conversation. So now Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, remember, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam this whole time is remaining calm. And calmly responding. Why? Because he was commanded to. Every time he would even think about getting upset or responding angry or raising his voice, he remembers the command of his Lord. So anytime you're getting an argument with someone, debating with someone, try to remember this verse. Okay, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was told to remain calm when he was talking to Fir'aun. Am I in a debate right now? I'm in an argument right now? This command applies to me too. Allah told me to remain calm, so I have to remain calm. I gotta relax. Okay, so now Musa alayhi salatu wasalam notices that Fir'aun is, he's getting physical. He's getting violent. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam takes an opportunity. So what does he say? What if I bring you a clear sign? Now what did he do by that? He made everyone curious now. He made everyone curious. Okay, what sign is he talking about? Now we want to see. So Pharaoh responded, okay, okay, if you have any signs you want to show me, show it to me now. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam فَأَلْقَى أَصَاهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had a staff or a stick in his hand. He threw it and it became into a huge serpent, a huge snake. وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. When he would take his hands out of his, under his arm, when he would bring it out, then it would be, a bright light. It was just a miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It would be a bright light. فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ قَالَ لِلْمَلَإِ حَوْلَهُ إِنَّ هَذَا لَسَاحِرٌ عَلِيمٌ يُرِيدُ أَن يُخْرِجَكُم مِّنْ أَرْضِكُم بِسِحْرِهِ فَمَاذَا تَأْمُرُونَ. Now Fir'aun, he doesn't know how to respond to this, because he himself doesn't have any miracles. He's not a magician. He doesn't know how to do anything. So what does Fir'aun respond with? He starts to question the motives and the intentions of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. He starts a propaganda. This guy, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, you know what he's doing? He's a magician now. He's been gone for so long. He came back and became a magician, and he's going to use his magic to kick all of you out of your town. Fir'aun knows that the ministers are somewhat being convinced, but he's bringing their mind to not what Musa alayhi salatu wasalam did. He's good at changing the subject. He's good at controlling the mind. What does the media do so good? If something bad happened back home, or something bad happened in the Muslim lands, they're not going to bring it on the media. They're going to cloud your judgment, and they're going to cloud your mind with what's on the media. They don't want you to see the real thing that's happening. They want you to see something else. So Fir'aun did not want the ministers to see what Musa alayhi salatu wasalam did, but he brought the motive, or the alleged motive and intention of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. He's going to use this magic to kick you out of your position. So what does that mean? You're not going to be a minister no more. You're not going to be close to me no more. You're not going to be wealthy no more. You're going to lose your position because he's going to take it from you. So instead of addressing or talking about what Musa alayhi salatu wasalam just did, he convinced them of why he's doing what he just did. So an arrogant person will start questioning the motive or the intention of the person that he's arguing with. This is trait number 7. Okay. So Musa alayhi salatu, Fir'aun does not want to lose. Fir'aun wants to prove that he's a magician. So what does he say? Okay. أرجع وأخاف وابعث في المدائن حشرين يأتوك بكل سحار عليم. He said, okay. But Musa alayhi salatu wasalam thinks he's big and bad. Okay. And he wants to win the ministers too. So what does he do? He says to them, okay, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to give these 2 brothers, Musa and Harun alayhi salatu wasalam, I'm going to give them some respect. I'm going to give them some time. Okay. And then what I want all of you ministers to do is send letters all around the world and call all the magicians. Gather all the magicians from around the world. يَأْتُوكَ بِكُلِّ سَحَّارٍ عَلِيمٍ. Every knowledgeable magician and sorcery will come and join us and fight with Musa and Harun alayhi salatu wasalam. فَجُمِعَ السَّحَرَةُ. لميقات يوم معلوم. So all the magicians came for a specific time. وقيل للناس هل أنتم مجتمعون. So now Fir'aun obviously wants to prove himself right. So he gathers everyone. They decide a date, and the entire community came. It was packed, and everyone was there to witness this. Because Fir'aun wanted to prove the fact that he's a god, and the fact that he would destroy Musa and Harun alayhim as-salatu was-salam. So فَلَمَّا جَاءَ السَّحَرَةُ قَالُوا لِفِرْعَوْنَ. Now, these magicians, okay, they're going to respect Fir'aun. Fir'aun is their leader, but they're not going to do anything for free. We're not going to do anything for free. فَلَمَّا جَاءَ السَّحَرَةُ. So when they came, they said, okay, before we talk about the fight, before we handle Musa and Harun alayhim as-salatu was-salam, okay, قَالُوا لِفِرْعَوْنَ أَإِنَّ لَنَا لَأَجْرًا إِن كُنَّا نَحْنُ الْغَالِبِينَ. If we win, do we get anything? We're not doing this for free. If there's no reward, we're not going to do this. We traveled this far because we thought there would be a big reward. We're not going to do this for free. So Fir'aun said to them, yes, قَالَ نَعَمْ إِنَّكُمْ إِذًا لَمِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ. If you win and you overpower Musa and Harun alayhim as-salatu was-salam, then I'll make you from amongst my muqarrab, my close people. This is why we constantly make this dua. Allahumma ja'alna min al-muqarrabeen. Oh Allah, make us from amongst your close people. What does that mean to be muqarrab? Fir'aun is the leader. He's the pharaoh. He's the most powerful person on planet Earth at that time, to an extent. He has the wealth of the world in his control. So they knew that if you were in the company of Fir'aun, Fir'aun's going to take care of you. He didn't say, I'm going to give you this much money. No, you're going to be in my company. You're going to be my close people. In other words, I'm going to take care of you. Likewise, sometimes by doing this ibadah, turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what we might get is nearness to Allah, and we don't need anything else. If Fir'aun could win the magicians and tell them that I'm going to make you from my close people, then obviously being from amongst the close people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is worth it. We keep making this dua, Allahumma ja'alna min al-muqarrabin. So the people said, okay, in that case, we're going to take care of Musa alayhi salam. So they went to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, and in a large gathering, sell-out crowd. So they said to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, قَالَ لَهُمْ مُوسَى أَلْقُوا مَا أَنْتُمْ مُلْقُونَ. So they first asked Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, do you want to go first or should we go first? Now, if Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had gone first, he still would have overpowered them. But by nature, the second one, when you do it after, it becomes more dominant and more effective and more powerful. Okay, I'm going to show you this way first. I'm going to show you the wrong way first. And then I'm going to show you the right way. I'm going to show you what he can do. So you can look at how good he is. And then when I look at me and compare me to him, you'll see how great I am. It's just by nature, human nature. What do we say? Save the best for last. Okay, all of that was warm up. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. So because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows our nature, he wanted the magicians to go first. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam said, go to them, go first. So they went first. قال لهم موسى ألقوا ما أنتم ملقون. Whatever you're going to throw at me, throw it. قالوا حبالهم وعصيهم وقالوا بعزة فرعون إنا لنحن الغالبون. So they threw their robes and their staffs and their sticks, and they said, by the izzah and the honor and the dignity of Fir'aun, verily we will become, and indeed we will be the ones who overpower. Now, what they did was more of an illusion. What our modern magicians do, it's an illusion. So they presented all of these illusions to make it look like and convince the crowd that this was happening and that was happening. So فألقى موسى عصاه فإذا هي تلقف ما يأفكون. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam just threw his stick. Because it says, we're not talking about the story of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, I don't want to go into too much detail, but Musa alayhi salatu wasalam threw his stick, it turned into a serpent and it ate everything that they had. All the ropes were gone, the sticks were gone, everything was gone. فألقي السحرة ساجدين. All the magicians, they fell into prostration. قالوا آمنا برب العالمين رب موسى وهارون. We believe in the Lord of the universes. We believe in the Lord of Musa and Harun alayhi salam. Now Fir'aun, he just publicly lost. He was humiliated in public. So Fir'aun again brought his strength. What did he do? قَالَ أَمُنْتُمْ لَهُ قَبْلَ أَنْ آذَنَ لَكُمْ. You believed in Musa and Harun alayhi wasalam before I granted you permission. Now he has to win the crowd back too. He has to bring back the majority. So what does he do? He quickly tells everyone, إِنَّهُ لَكَبِيرُكُمُ الَّذِي عَلَّمُكُمُ السِّحْرَ فَلَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ لَأُقَطِّعَنَّ أَيْدِيَكُمْ وَأَرْجُلَكُم مِّنْ خِلَافٍ وَلَأُصَلِّبَنَّكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. So now what does Fir'aun do? Fir'aun has to win the crowd back. So what does he do? He makes it up on the spot. What does he say? He said, Musa, he's the teacher of all of these musicians. He planned this. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he's their teacher. And soon you guys will know. Because these magicians that just accepted Islam, لَأُقَطِّيَنَّ أَيْدِيَكُمْ وَأَرْجُلَكُم مِّنْ خِلَافٍ. I'm going to cut their hand and their leg from the opposite sides. وَلَأُصَلِّبَنَّكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. And I'm going to crucify and hang all of them. So you guys can see what I did to them. Now Fir'aun does not have a response. So what does he do? When others also agree that you are wrong, so now all these magicians agree that Fir'aun is wrong. So what does he do? He questions their motive and cuts them off too. No, all of you guys are wrong. A prideful person can never be wrong. I can't be wrong. All of you can be wrong. Man, me? You know who I am? I can never be wrong. So it doesn't matter if 10, 100, 50, 1,000 people come and tell you you're wrong. It does not matter. You're all wrong and you have all of these motives. This is your intention. A prideful person can never be wrong. So even though he feels like they have ganged up on him, he quickly questions their motives and he uses his authority and power to take care of them. Nowadays, every person can be wrong. We have this feeling, unfortunately, especially as children, when we grow up, when we get to those teenage years and those prime youth age, we feel like no one can be wrong. Everyone else is wrong except for us. We're the only right ones. Anyone who corrects us does not have good intentions. They're trying to take advantage of us. So now, along with already being wrong, he became too arrogant to accept the truth. He's so arrogant, he can no longer see and no longer accept the truth. And they get into the sin, which is called su'uz zan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّ بَعْضَ الظَّنِّ إِثْمٍ. Some assumptions, allegations are sins. So now, this arrogant person can only think bad about others. They can't see any good in anyone else. Then they take it a step further. And they start spreading rumors and lies about what we think their intention could be. Oh, you don't know why he did it. I know why he did it. I know why she did this. Then, if someone ever calls you out, no, I spoke to him, I spoke to her. Their intention was not that. Now we justify, okay, that's just what I thought. I didn't see that with certainty. That's just what was in my head, and I thought that was the reason why they did it. What did the Prophet ﷺ tell us? إِيَّكُمْ وَالظَّنَّ فَإِنَّ الظَّنَّ أَكْذَبُ الْحَدِيثِ. Be very cautious of assuming. Be very cautious of assumptions. Be aware of allegations. For allegations or assumptions are the worst types of conversations, are the worst type of lies. So now Musa Fir'aun does not know their intention, but he's automatically presenting their intention as if he knows what their intentions are. So now these people, the magicians, they fell into prostration, but their yaqeen and iman was so strong. When Fir'aun responded, "But I'm going to, kill you and execute you," what did they say? قالوا لا ضير إنا إلى ربنا منقلبون. We don't care. No problem. No harm caused. Do what you want. إنا إلى ربنا منقلبون. We're going to return to our Lord anyways. إنا نطمع أن يغفر لنا ربنا خطايانا أن كنا أول المؤمنين. We believe, we have hope that Allah is going to forgive us for all of our mistakes because we are the first one to believe. وأوحينا إلى موسى. So now, these magicians have fell into prostration, and according to historians, they were actually executed. All the magicians were actually executed. Anyways, the story continues. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam is now commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَسْرِ بِعِبَادِي إِنَّكُمْ مُتَّبَعُونَ. O Musa, I want you to take the people of Bani Israel, the children of Israel, and I want you to take them. فَأَرْسَلَ فِرْعَوْنُ فِي الْمَدَائِنِ حَاشِرًا. Now, Fir'aun has lost, has been publicly humiliated, and now he notices that Musa ﷺ is gaining a following. So now the 9th trait of Fir'aun is that when referring to those who disagree with you, you speak about them in a belittling manner. So what does he say? إِنَّ هَؤُلَاءِ لَشِرْذِمَةٌ قَلِيلُونَ وَإِنَّهُمْ لَنَا لَغَائِظُونَ. These people, the followers of Musa ﷺ, they're a small group of people. They're nothing. They're trash. And they're they're enraging us. They're making me very angry. In English, we would say they're pissing me off. I just want to handle them. So now Fir'aun is mocking the entire group of people that follow Musa ﷺ. That concludes the story between Musa ﷺ and Fir'aun. And quickly I want to go over the cause and the solutions of arrogance, and then inshallah we'll end the class. There are a few causes that lead someone to be arrogant. Number one, obsession with one's own self, and own opinions. The way the media is presented right now, everyone wants to look good. Everyone wants to present themselves as the right people, the good people. I'm the best, I'm that, I dress the best, I do this. Everyone's in this world is being built in such a way where within our children and even our elders, it's being put in their mind that I'm the only one that can be right. So there's an obsession that's been created in the media nowadays with one's own self and own opinions. We live in a society where kids are taught that their view is everything. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can call yourself whatever you want. If you're a boy, you can call yourself a she. If you're a boy, if you're a girl, you can call yourself a he. You can do whatever you want. You don't need to listen to your parents anymore. Jo karna karo. What did the Prophet ﷺ tell us? إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِي فَاسْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. When there's no haya, when there's no modesty, then do whatever you want. You're like an animal. Animals do whatever they want. إِذَا لَمْ تَسْتَحِي فَاسْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. When there's no haya, there's no modesty, you do whatever you want. So society right now is drilling within our kids and our children that their view is everything. However, in Islam, we are constantly reminded that we came from something that was a lowly fluid that meant nothing. A time came upon every human being that we were not even worthy of being mentioned. We were a drop of sperm. We're not even worthy of being mentioned. But society is telling us we're everything. Unfortunately, it's even extremely common for Muslims nowadays to quickly come to a conclusion that everyone else in the ummah was wrong. The previous scholars, they were wrong. The pious predecessors, they were wrong. But they never opened the possibility that it's possible that they're the ones who are mistaken. The Prophet ﷺ gave us a prophecy. As we get closer to Qiyamah, the signs of Qiyamah, minor signs of Qiyamah. One of the minor signs of Qiyamah, the Prophet ﷺ said that the current generation will curse the previous generation. The current generation, a time will come where the current generation will curse the previous generations. So they don't know nothing. The entire ummah was wrong. People will come to me and tell me, from the time that the Tabi'een time, Imam Abu Hanifa's time, they were all wrong. And Ibn Taymiyyah came and he's the only one right one. Everyone else is wrong. Everyone was wrong, only they were right. Even though they came way after. Now that's not to call out anyone. That's not to say Ibn Taymiyyah or Shaykh al-Islam did anything wrong, but it's wrong to say Imam Hanifa didn't do anything. So the later generations will curse the earlier generations. So number one, there's an obsession with one's own self and own opinions. And we need to put in our minds that no, we'll get to the solution inshallah, but that other people can also be wrong too. Number two, the type of people we surround ourselves with. And this is so important. The Prophet ﷺ was commanded, was instructed, وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ. O Muhammad ﷺ, keep yourself close to people that call Allah day and night. يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ, that intend to earn the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that do not turn their eyes towards the zinat of this dunya. They do not look at the zinat and the beautification of this dunya. وَلَا تُطِعْ مَنْ أَغْفَلْنَا قَلْبَهُ عَنْ ذِكْرِنَا, and do not be in the company of those who are heedless, who are unaware, that their hearts are unaware from my zikr, from my remembrance, وَاتَّبِعْ هَوَاهُ, and they follow their desires. وَكَانَ أَمْرُهُ فُرُطًا. So the Prophet was commanded to stay in the company, يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ, who make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala day and night with the intention to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet ﷺ is commanded to not be in the company of those people who have their focus on this dunya, and not to be in the company of those people who are heedless from the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they follow their desires. This is the instruction given to the Prophet ﷺ. As a matter of fact, in a hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, which is found in Abu Dawood, أبغون الضعفاء فإنما ترزقون وتنصرون بضعفائكم. Very beautiful hadith. The Prophet ﷺ says, find the weak people. The weak people, the poor people, the elders. Find them. أبغوني, look for them. Look for the weak people. Weak means elder or poor, suffering from poverty. Find them and stay in their company. فإنما ترزقون وتنصرون بضعفائكم. You will be blessed. Your sustenance will be provided. Allah will bless you with sustenance, and Allah will bless you with nusrat, with help, by being in their company. What do we say? This person is not dressed properly. I can't be in this company. How poor this person is. I can't be in this company. I can't go to that area. It's so dirty. It's so disgusting. I'm a rich person. I can't be in their company. I don't feel right being here. And people who just came back from Hajj, doesn't matter how rich you were, how poor you were, you all wore the same dress. That's Qiyamah. Doesn't matter how rich you are, how poor you are, on Qiyamah we're all the same. It doesn't matter how rich or how poor you are, we will all be buried in the ground. So the Prophet ﷺ is commanded and telling the Sahaba to stay in good company. So if we're around prideful people, if we're around rich people, if we're around famous people, we will be affected by them. We will also want to be rich. Rich people do certain things that poor people or average people don't do. So we get affected by that. Number 3, the lifestyle we choose. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he advised Sayyidina Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiyallahu ta'ala, Iyaka wa tana'um. O Mu'adh, be cautious of luxury. Be cautious of luxury. For the slaves of Allah are not luxurious. For the slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are not luxurious. Now what does it mean to be luxurious? Al-istimraru bil-taladhuz. To constantly and every day eat delicious food. To constantly and every day eat delicious food. And our mothers know we don't give you delicious food every day, so you value us. Sometimes, okay, today I'm going to make you your favorite food. In madrasa days, we had several days. We had to be days where you had to be patient, where we had dal chawal. Al-istimraru bil-taladhuz. Don't eat delicious food all the time. I'm not saying don't eat something you can't even eat. But you know when you're craving something and it just tastes amazing, hit the spot like we say? Don't eat food that hit the spot every day. Don't eat food that hits the spot every day. بالتلذذ بالطعام والشراب. Don't drink something that hits the spot every day. That tastes so delicious. ومفاخر الثياب. Don't wear amazing clothes that make you feel good every day. You know, when you dress up. Don't dress up every day with your best clothes. Rather, Why do we say that Eid and the day of Jummah we're supposed to dress up? So don't wear nice, amazing. I'm not saying don't dress like present, make yourself a little bit presentable. I'm talking about what does it mean to be luxurious at the highest level. Be okay with less. What did the Prophet say? The best type of fasting was what? The fasting of Dawood alayhi salatu wasalam. To fast one day, to not fast one day. So on the day that I fast, I learn patience. And on the day that I eat, I learn how to express gratitude to Allah. And lastly, some of the solutions in this class, inshallah. Number one, this is our go home thing, what we need to be doing now. Like I said, this is not an entertaining class, just an information. This is something that we bring into our life. So now what do? Number one, read the biographies of those amazing people who are in this ummah and look at their humility. The more you look at people who are higher and above you and how humble they were, it makes you realize how low you should be and how low you really are. Or read about the nations and the people that came before you that were so powerful. Now one is, you can look at the Quran and read the story of Thamud and Ad and how strong they were. They were bigger than us, they were taller than us, they were powerful than us. They made their houses out of mountains and carved the mountains and made their own. And yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still destroyed them. You can read their stories too. Or you can read the stories of the Muslim empire. The Muslims started in this Hijaz area of Makkah and Medina and conquered half of the world in the time of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala passed away 12 to 13 years after the demise of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So in 10 to 12 years, he conquered half of the world. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala. So how did the Muslim empire dominate the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire? Read their stories. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was never in need of numbers. كَمْ مِنْ فِئَةٍ قَلِيلَةٍ غَلَبَتْ فِئَةً كَثِيرَةً بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. How many times a smaller group took over a larger group? So read their stories of the pious and how there was humility in them. And when pride came into them, how they were destroyed. Number two, surround yourself with humble and simple-minded people. With humble and simple, not these people that are constantly trying to make money. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I make a lot of money. I'm working all day. No, you know what? It's good for you. I don't want to be in your company. I want to be in the company of the people that come to the masjid, of the people that make dua, of the people that are reading Quran, that are doing dhikr, the people that are simple, not so extravagant, getting the nicest cars, the best house, the most expensive, the most luxurious stuff. I want the simple people. So be around those people that are humble and simple. Number three, express gratitude for every blessing you have. The more you realize that everything you have is from Allah, the more you realize that you are worthy of any of this praise. This car that I have is not because of me. This house that I have is not because of me. This power that I have is not because of me. All of these things that I have is not because of me. It's literally because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything that I have, Allah has blessed me with it. So when you express gratitude to Allah, it reminds you who gave you what you have. And number four, always reflect on your own fault and mistakes first. Look, you will be questioned for your wrongdoings, not the wrongdoings of others. So if someone else is doing something wrong, and your pride is making you focus on their wrong, Allah's not going to ask you about what they did wrong. When you have so many mistakes of your own, you don't have time to worry about the mistakes of others. Our faults and our mistakes, when we concentrate on them, they will remind us how weak we are. And think to yourself that if people knew my faults that Allah has hidden, no one would ever associate themselves with me. So when someone praises you for something that Allah has blessed you with, there is a dua of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala that he used to make every time someone praised him. If you can't memorize the Arabic, try to memorize the English inshallah. Allahumma la tu'akhidni bima yaqulun waghfir li ma la ya'lamun waj'alni khayran mimma yadhunnun. Oh Allah, do not hold me accountable for those things that they're saying. They're praising me so much that I'm not deserving of it. Don't hold me to what they're saying, Ya Allah. Forgive me for those things they don't know about me, Ya Allah, and make me better than what they assume of me. Oh Allah, do not hold me accountable for what they say about me. Forgive me for what they don't know about me, and make me better than what they assume of me. This is a mindset we need to have regarding any quality or skill that we may have, and we'll be returning that skill and quality back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst the righteous people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove any diseases of shaitan that is within us, any kibr, any pride, any arrogance that is within us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely cleanse our heart of it. Jazakumullahu khairan wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah. Anyone who wants, inshallah, there will be refreshments for everyone as well.